was the second daughter and third child of Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, and Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom. Early on, Alice travelled between the British royal houses with her parents, siblings, and other family members. Christian Friedrich, Baron Stockmar, a close friend and advisor to Prince Albert, designed her curriculum, which included practical subjects like needlepoint and woodworking and languages like French and German. In 1860, Alice's mother started making arrangements for her marriage. Although Queen Victoria had stated that she wanted her children to wed for love, this did not imply that she would only choose suitors from the European royal families. Princess Victoria, the Queen's daughter and wife of Prince Frederick William of Prussia, was tasked to compile a list of potential princes across Europe. Only 2 candidates fit the bill, according to her search: William, the Prince of Orange, and Prince Albert of Prussia, the cousin of Princess Victoria's husband Frederick William. After ruling out the 2 frontrunners, Princess Victoria chose Prince Louis of Hesse, a minor German prince who is the nephew of the Grand Duke of Hesse and his brother Prince Henry. Both were invited to Windsor Castle in 1860 so they could watch the Ascot races with the royal family, but in actuality, the Queen used the trip as an opportunity to meet her prospective son-in-law. Although the Queen admired both Louis and Henry, she remarked on how well-liked Louis and Alice were. Louis asked for Alice's picture after the Hessian family left, and she made it apparent that she liked him. Following approval from the Queen, Alice became engaged to Prince Louis of Hesse on April 30, 1861. Prince Albert, the father of Alice, passed away on December 14, 1861, in between their engagement and marriage. Even though the Queen was distraught, she gave the order for the wedding to proceed as scheduled. Alice and Louis exchanged vows in private on July 1, 1862, at Osborne House's dining room, which had been turned into a makeshift chapel. Her uncle, Ernest II, Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, Albert's brother, gave Alice away. Alice was forced to wear black mourning clothing before and after the wedding, even though she appeared in a simple white dress with a veil of Honiton lace and a wreath of orange blossom and myrtle. The Queen noted to Alfred, Lord Tennyson, that it was the saddest day I can recall, and wrote to her oldest daughter, Victoria, that the event was more of a burial than a wedding. Alice made an effort not to come across as too happy when the Queen paid the newlyweds a visit at St. Clair. Despite this, the Queen was envious of her daughter's happiness as a result of Alice's displays of love bliss. The royal gift in 1861 from Her Majesty the Queen was a very lovely diamond tiara made out of a wide, opulent bandeau topped with foliage and tall pinnacles, the latter of which was fashioned and chosen by His Royal Highness the Prince Consort. Made with Messrs. Gerrard's diamonds, silver, and gold. Princess Alice passed away at the young age of 35, hence the tiara was not seen for about 20 years. The next wearer was Grand Duchess Victoria Melita, the first wife of Grand Duke Ernst Ludwig, Alice's lone surviving son. In 1905, they divorced and wed once more. His second wife received the tiara. A few months prior to the birth of her second son in 1908, she wore it in an amazing portrait. When the plane carrying Grand Duchess Eleanor, her son George Donatus, his wife, and their children to London crashed in dense Belgian fog in 1937, killing everyone on board except for the tiara that miraculously survived the crash. The origin of the pearl and diamond stars in the tiara is unknown, but Princess Alice of the United Kingdom may be able to connect this item to the blue enamel bracelet with 3 pearl and diamond stars she received as a wedding gift from Prince Henry, Princess Anna, and Prince William of Hesse when she wed Prince Louis of Hesse in 1862. A few years later, Princess Alice was depicted with 6-point diamond stars with pearl centers, first in her hair for a Winterhalter portrait taken in the 1867, which echoed Winterhalter's well-known painting of Empress Elizabeth of Austria, and then on top of a tiara base for a portrait taken in the 1870s. Princess Alice tragically passed away in 1878. Her only son, Grand Duke Ernest, inherited the pearl and diamond star tiara, which was later seen on his second wife, Princess Eleanor of Solms-Hohenzollern, in the middle of the 20th century. The design of that particular tiara was comparable to one worn by Princess Victoria, Marchioness of Milford Haven. The eldest daughter of Princess Alice, 9 of the pearl and diamond stars were set into a structural diamond scroll Kokoschnik designed by Koch in Frankfurt and made by Kreuter Company in 1931, in preparation for the wedding of their son, hereditary Grand Duke George Donatus of Hesse, and Princess Cecily of Greece. Hereditary Grand Duchess Cecily paired the tiara with Princess Alice's pearl and diamond corsage brooch for a series of photos made in the early 1930s. The tiara is presently owned by the House of Hesse Foundation, which is in charge of managing the family's assets, such as the artwork, castles, and jewels that are still in the family's possession. Winterhalter depicted the hereditary Grand Duchess Alice in 1867 with a pearl and diamond cluster brooch hanging from a black velvet ribbon around her neck. The pearl brooch pendant has a removable natural white pearl drop hanging from a 2-stone diamond line to the pearl surmount, surrounded by a twin old mine cut diamond surround made up of 15 sizable old mine diamonds and 15 smaller diamonds. 5.8 centimeters long, mounted in silver and gold, one of her mother's wedding presents. A second pearl cluster brooch, about 5 centimeters in length and fashioned in 1870, had a natural white pearl drop hanging from a diamond 2-stone line. It was plated in silver and gold and later came into the hands of the Marquess of Milford Haven. The pearl jewels were sold in 4 pieces at auction in 2000. This bracelet is made of gold, diamonds, seed pearls, and enamel and was given to Princess Alice by Queen Victoria. The fine quality gold bracelet with applied Gothic-style strapwork and foliate engraved decoration within dark blue enameled borders, set with 2 dark blue enamel and gold ovals inclined towards each other, one depicting a ship in full sail within a border of 26 seed pearls, the other a bust portrait of Princess Alice within a border of 26 old-cut diamonds. The 2 ovals surmounted by a diamond-set red enamel crown and with the diamond-set letters V and A intertwined beneath, the words "To lovely Alice from her loving parents, Albert and Victoria are, who though visibly parted are ever together, April 25, 1862" are etched in script on the inside face of the bracelet. Queen Victoria was noted for her passion for marking key occasions during her reign with presentation diamonds. Prior to her marriage to Prince Louis of Hesse on July 1, 1862, Princess Alice received this bracelet to commemorate the occasion of her departure to start a new life in Darmstadt, Hesse. It is one of the most notable examples of Victoria's presentation jewels to have been placed on the open market for many years, commemorating an event of enormous personal significance to her second eldest daughter who, shortly after Prince Albert's death, had grown to be her closest friend and the de facto head of the royal family during a period of intense grief and turmoil. It is probable that the jewel was commissioned prior to Albert's death in December 1861. The inscription's reference to visibly parted originally intended as a reference to Alice's departure overseas, but gaining additional poignancy due her father's passing. Princess Alice contracted diphtheria from her son on December 14 and became quite unwell, which was the anniversary of her father's passing. "Dear Papa," were her final words before she passed out at 2:30 a.m. She passed away just after 8:30 a.m. The Union flag was draped over Alice's casket as she was laid to rest on December 18, 1878, in the Grand Ducal Tomb at Rosenhoe outside of Darmstadt.